Welcome to the Bay. All right, let's just get right into it. If you're building a gaming PC right now, you know that 1440p is the sweet spot, right? But that's where the big question pops up. Do you go for the shiny brand new tech, or do you stick with a proven powerhouse from the last generation? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today, putting two absolute titans head to head. So we're looking at the 1440p builder's dilemma, next-gen efficiency versus last-gen muscle. I mean, it's a classic showdown, isn't it? In one corner, you've got the brand new RTX 5070, the challenger with all the latest bells and whistles, and in the other corner, the RTX 4070 Ti, a beast of a card that, still packs a serious punch. This is all about new tech versus raw power, and we're going to figure out which one makes the most sense for your build. So, are you trying to figure this out right now? I bet you are. You've probably got your build all planned out, but you're hung up on the graphics card, the heart of the whole rig. I mean, on paper, both of these cards look incredible, but what really matters is how they handle the games you actually play. So you know what? Let's stop talking about it and dive right into the benchmarks. All right, so let's properly meet the contenders. On one side, we have the RTX 5070, which we're calling the Efficiency King. This is the new kid on the block, packed with all sorts of modern features. Then you've got the RTX 4070 Ti, the last-gen muscle. This thing is a proven workhorse, It's all about raw, brute force power. Okay, so let's talk performance. And honestly, this is where things get weird. You'd think the new card would just blow the old one out of the water, right? Well, not so fast. The benchmarks tell a really surprising story. Let's get into it. Okay, check out these numbers. We pulled this data from our source, bestgpusforgaming.com. Look at this. In Cyberpunk 2077, you're getting 128 frames per second on the 5070 and 129 on the 4070 Ti. That's a 1-frame difference. Same thing in Forza. In Hogwarts, it's a 3-frame gap. And even in those super fast-paced games like Warzone and Fortnite, we're only talking about a 5-frame difference. Let's be real, you would never, ever be able to feel that in-game. No way. And when you average all those games out, look at this chart. The difference is just tiny. The 5070 is pulling about 144 FPS, and the 4070 Ti gets 146. We're talking a 2-frame per second difference. It's basically a rounding error. Like I said, in the middle of a game, you'd have absolutely no idea which card was in your machine. It's a tie, for all intents and purposes. Yep, we're looking at a 1 to 2% difference in performance on average. That's it. It's basically nothing. So that leads to a really important question, doesn't it? If you can't pick one based on FPS, how in the world are you supposed to choose? Well, it turns out the answer isn't in the frame rates. It's in everything else. So let's look at the stuff that actually separates these two cards. We're going to break down the tech, the power draw, and of course, the price. This is where you'll find the real winner. Okay, the technology gap. Now, this is where the RTX 5070 starts to pull away big time. It's built on the new Blackwell architecture, which means you get stuff like DLSS 4. And that's a huge deal. It uses AI to create entirely new frames, which can give you a massive performance jump. You also get faster GDDR7 memory and newer standards like PCIe 5.0. The 4070 Ti with its older Ada-levelist tech just can't compete here. The 5070 is way more future-proof. And then there's efficiency, which is a bigger deal than you might think. The 5070 only pulls around 250 watts. The 4070 Ti, it's a bit thirstier at about 285 watts. Now, why does this matter? Well, less power means less heat, which means your fans don't have to work as hard. So the 5070 is going to be easier to cool and probably a lot quieter. Plus, you can likely get away with a smaller, cheaper power supply, like a 650-watt unit instead of needing a 700-watt one for the 4070 Ti. That stuff adds up. All right, now for the part everyone's been waiting for, the price. How much is the RTX 5070 going to set you back? Typically, you're looking at around $549. Pretty compelling for all that new tech, right? And what about the 4070 Ti? Brace yourself. It's typically priced around $799. Yeah, let that sink in. For a card that gives you basically the same gaming performance, that is a huge price difference. And this chart right here, this is the whole story. This is FPS per dollar, and it's not even close. The RTX 5070 gives you so much more bang for your buck. It's not just a better value, it's in a completely different league. For anyone building a new rig, I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer. So, we've looked at the benchmarks, the tech, the power, and the price. Now let's put it all together and give you some clear, straightforward advice on which GPU is the perfect pick for you.
Okay, first up, if you're a 1440p high refresh gamer building a new PC, the recommendation is simple. Just get the RTX 5070. Seriously, you get the exact same performance as a 4070 Ti, but with all the modern tech, it's more efficient and you save a ton of money. It's the clear winner.
But what about the deal hunters, the people who love scouring the used market? For you guys, the RTX 4070 Ti could be an option. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. It only makes sense if you can find one for a really, really good price, significantly cheaper than a new 5070. If you see one for a steal, go for it. Otherwise, just save up for the 5070. Now, what if you already own an RTX 4070 Ti? What should you do? My advice is do nothing. Stick with what you've got. The performance is so similar that upgrading to a 5070 isn't really an upgrade at all. It's a side grade. The tiny FPS gain just isn't worth the money. And hey, if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, you've got to check out our source for this explainer, bestgpusforgaming.com. They have a way more detailed breakdown with even more benchmarks and analysis than we could cover here. It's definitely worth a read. And really, this quote from their article sums it up perfectly. The RTX 5070 gives you 4070 Ti class FPS with newer tech and better efficiency. That's it. That's the whole ballgame right there. It's the smart move for 1440p gaming.
So, which GPU will you be docking in your next build? The choice seems pretty clear for most people, but hey, it's your rig, your call. Let us know down below what you're thinking. All right, that's it for this one. Keep it cool and keep building.